It's not another celebrity feud, not another chaotic live stream, and definitely not another moment of impulsive drama that pops up on your timeline and disappears an hour later. No, what unfolded today is something far louder, far darker, and far more explosive than anything the internet has processed in months. Because buried beneath millions of comments, stitched videos, over-edited reaction clips, and frantic live streams is a digital earthquake, powerful enough to split the internet in half. And at the center of this seismic meltdown stand two of the most unpredictable, unfiltered, and emotionally charged figures the online world has ever learned to fear. Charleston White, the man whose Wi-Fi connection might as well be a weapon of mass destruction, and Chrisean Rock, the walking storm cloud of emotion, chaos, heartbreak, and unpredictability whose life has never, not once, taken the easy road. Tonight, we're going to walk straight into the center of the explosion, not because we enjoy chaos, but because chaos is exactly what the internet feeds on. And this time, the internet gorged itself until it couldn't swallow another bite. What happens when one loud accusation spreads faster than the truth? What happens when a rumor becomes a wildfire? And what happens when that rumor claims something so shocking, so visceral, that people stop caring whether it's true or not? What happens when the internet collectively decides that a mother may have abandoned her own child? This is not a drama. This is not gossip. This is a digital crime scene. Let's break it down. Before today, Charleston White was already known for his explosive live streams and unfiltered opinions. He built an entire internet empire on talking fast, loud, and with the kind of confidence usually reserved for politicians or preachers on Easter Sunday. But nothing, absolutely nothing, in his catalog compares to the moment he clicked the Go Live button this time. Viewers could feel instantly that something was different. His tone was sharper. His pacing was erratic. His energy felt like someone preparing to testify before Congress with the weight of the world on his shoulders. And then with zero hesitation, zero proof, and zero context, he delivered the line that sent shockwaves across TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and every corner of the internet within minutes. Chrisean Rock threw away her own son. The internet didn't pause. The internet didn't double-check. The internet didn't even blink. It erupted. Within seconds, thousands of comments flooded the stream, half of them in disbelief, half of them demanding details, and the rest already stitching the clip to their own pages before the algorithm could even warm up. Because when it comes to Chrisean Rock, the internet is already conditioned to believe the absolute worst. Her past, her behavior, her impulsiveness, her fights, her crying spells, her relationships, her reckless decisions, they all combine to create a public image so fragile that even the most outrageous rumor could feel plausible. And Charleston knew that. Boy, did he know that. It took less than 20 minutes for the first reaction channels to upload their commentary, for the meme pages to begin crafting jokes, for the anonymous gossip accounts to post insider information, and for the internet to turn Charleston's accusation into a full-blown narrative. Clips of Chrisean were pulled from every corner of the internet. Clips of her crying, screaming, smiling, yelling, breaking down, acting out, and lashing out. These clips, completely unrelated to the rumor, suddenly became convenient puzzle pieces used to assemble a picture of a mother in crisis. A woman spiraling, a person capable of doing the unthinkable. And once the internet builds that picture, facts no longer matter. Proof no longer matters. Logic no longer matters. All that matters is momentum. And momentum was moving at the speed of lightning. Fake screenshots emerged, fake text messages circulated, fake recordings appeared out of thin air. Every one of them designed to prove something that no one had actually confirmed. Anonymous accounts claimed to be insiders. Reaction pages spoke like experts. People who had never watched Chrisean for more than 12 seconds suddenly became analysts of her mental state. And while the rumor grew larger and faster with each passing minute, Charleston continued pouring gasoline on the fire. He repeated the accusation with religious conviction. He waved his phone dramatically, pacing back and forth, adding new exaggerated details each time the views climbed. He suggested eyewitnesses, claimed he had private calls, insisted he had exclusive access to information no one else knew, even though every claim he made was built on thin air and adrenaline. But none of that mattered, because the internet doesn't care about accuracy. It cares about entertainment. It took time before Chrisean even realized what was happening. She wasn't online. She wasn't posting. She wasn't watching. But the moment she opened her phone, thousands of notifications slapped her across the face like a digital ambush. Her name was trending. Her baby was trending. Charleston was trending. Throw away the baby was trending. And she just stared at the screen with that familiar look that people have seen right before she explodes. Confusion, disbelief, hurt, anger. And then the comments started rolling into her live stream like a flood she couldn't control. Is it true? Why did you do that? He said you threw the baby away. Explain yourself. Where is your son? Imagine being a mother and seeing the internet accuse you of abandoning your child before you've even had the chance to ask what the accusation is about. Imagine having to scroll through endless clips of a man you don't even like, don't trust, and don't respect, screaming lies into a camera with the entire world watching. Chrisean finally snapped back. What the hell is he even talking about? But the damage was already done, because the internet had already chosen its narrative. If she spoke calmly, they said she didn't care. If she raised her voice, they said she was guilty. If she cried, they said it was manipulation. There was no winning, not for her, not in this moment, not in this digital courtroom that had already decided her fate. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, an anonymous page posted a blurry photo of a trash bin with tiny clothes scattered nearby. There was no context, no proof, no location, no timestamp. It wasn't her. Confusion, disbelief, hurt, anger. And then the comments started rolling into her live stream like a flood she couldn't control. Is it true? Why did you do that? He said you threw the baby away. Explain yourself. Where is your son? Imagine being a mother and seeing the internet accuse you of abandoning your child before you've even had the chance to ask what the accusation is about. Imagine having to scroll through endless clips of a man you don't even like, don't trust, and don't respect, screaming lies into a camera with the entire world watching. Chrisean finally snapped back. What the hell is he even talking about? But the damage was already done, because the internet had already chosen its narrative. If she spoke calmly, they said she didn't care. If she raised her voice, they said she was guilty. If she cried, they said it was manipulation. There was no winning, not for her, not in this moment, not in this digital courtroom that had already decided her fate. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, an anonymous page posted a blurry photo of a trash bin with tiny clothes scattered nearby. There was no context, no proof, no location, no timestamp. It wasn't her baby's clothing. It wasn't her house. It wasn't connected to her in any way. But the caption read, "This is what they found." And with that one fake post, the internet detonated again. People shared it without thinking. People commented without hesitating. People judged without breathing. Charleston saw the photo and reacted instantly, not checking whether it was real, but using it as alleged confirmation. "See? I told y'all, I told you." He shouted like a man who had just cracked a federal case. But this wasn't an investigation. This was entertainment. And the world was treating it like a spectacle. Even Blueface, the man who could have at least clarified something, decided to add fuel to the fire. Instead of defending her or shutting down the rumor, he posted laughing emojis, and the internet interpreted those emojis however they wanted. He's laughing because it's true. He knows what happened. He's exposing her without saying it. Once again, speculation became truth. At this point, the story grew beyond anyone's control, beyond Charleston, beyond Chrisean, beyond her family, beyond fans. It became its own monster.
However, when Chrisean Rock posted her latest emotional rant online, many of her followers shrugged it off as nothing new. She was visibly upset, defending her son and warning the public that anyone who disrespected him would face consequences. She insisted she loved her child deeply, that she was simply a mother doing her best while raising an autistic boy under the harsh spotlight of fame and constant criticism. To her, the backlash she faced wasn't real concern. It was bullying. It was cruelty disguised as commentary. She framed herself as a young woman overwhelmed by life, motherhood, and scrutiny from millions of strangers. But then, Charleston White, a man who has never been known for subtlety or sympathy, responded on a podcast with zero hesitation and even less mercy. His commentary was explosive, unfiltered, and brutally direct. He acknowledged Chrisean's point that everyone dies eventually, but then twisted her statement into a chilling punchline. Yeah, we all gonna die. Even that little mother gonna die one day. But ain't nobody dying because they picked on a baby. The moment he said it, the internet froze. It was offensive. It was harsh. It was shocking. But Charleston didn't stop there. He went on to say that Chrisean wanted to be honest. She would admit that she has never been a good mother, not even before the child was born. According to him, the signs were written clearly. Her behavior while pregnant made it obvious that she wasn't prepared for motherhood. He even claimed he could predict her child's health issues before birth, simply by watching how she acted during pregnancy. And as wild as that sounded, parts of the internet agreed. Charleston's criticism wasn't subtle, it was a direct slap to the face. But the discomfort it caused was made more intense by the fact that these opinions weren't appearing in a vacuum. They were built on 2 years' worth of viral videos, rumors, accusations, live stream meltdowns, emotional breakdowns, and troubling behavior surrounding both Chrisean and her child. Before baby Junior was even born, rumors circulated online about Chrisean's pregnancy behavior. Videos circulated of her partying in clubs, consuming alcohol, and allegedly using heavy substances. At the time, people debated whether these videos were real, recent, or edited to look worse than they were. But after the baby was born with developmental concerns, the conversation resurfaced with renewed intensity. One of the most damning pieces of testimony came from DJ Mix, someone who interacted with her during pregnancy and recounted an incident that still shocks people today. According to him, he FaceTimed Chrisean while she was pregnant, and she was smoking a full joint. When he questioned her, she brushed it off, acting as if none of it mattered. These moments recorded or described by people around her fueled the belief that Chrisean displayed reckless disregard for her child's well-being long before he was even born.
And Charleston White knew these stories. He referenced them. He used them as part of his argument that the child's condition wasn't surprising. In his mind, and the minds of many online, the outcome was predictable. As one commenter wrote, "You can't party, drink, smoke, and do heavy substances while pregnant and then blame the world when your baby comes out with challenges." These are uncomfortable conversations. They force people to consider the long-term consequences of reckless decisions. But for many, these discussions aren't about shaming Chrisean, they're about acknowledging reality. Once baby Junior entered the world, people hoped Chrisean would shift into a more mature, responsible, protective version of herself. But instead, the internet has been flooded with clips showing the exact opposite. Careless behaviors, chaotic live streams, physical altercations, unstable emotional outbursts, and questionable parenting choices. To her fans, these clips paint the portrait of a young woman overwhelmed by motherhood and the pressures of fame. To her critics, they confirm everything Charleston White said. One of the most alarming incidents unfolded when neighbors reportedly called CPS because Chrisean left the baby locked in a car alone while she walked away to livestream. In the viral video, she insisted she wasn't busy, yet somehow was too distracted to care for her child. This incident led to her being banned from Twitch and drew serious CPS involvement. For many parents watching, the clip online was the moment they realized something was deeply wrong. But Chrisean brushed it off, making jokes, deflecting blame, and downplaying the severity of the situation. Then came an even more disturbing moment.
A video where Chrisean, wiping her runny nose, used baby Junior as a tissue. No concern, no hesitation, she just wiped her mucus directly onto her child, as if it were nothing. The internet erupted in anger. People described the behavior as disturbing, unsanitary, dangerous, and a sign she is not thinking clearly. Some suggested she might have been intoxicated. Others said she looked mentally disconnected. But overwhelmingly, people agreed this was not normal. One viewer wrote, "She was drinking her whole pregnancy, smoking during labor, and now she wipes her snot on her baby. This isn't a mistake, this is neglect." That comment alone received thousands of likes because it echoed exactly what many felt but didn't want to say out loud. And then came one of the most revealing sources, her ex-boyfriend, Houdino. Unlike Charleston, who many dismiss as a professional provocateur, Houdino claimed he witnessed everything firsthand. He wasn't a commentator, a blogger, or a content creator. He was someone inside her home, around her child, and in the middle of her daily routine. And what he described made many viewers uncomfortable. According to Houdino, Chrisean often fed the child inappropriate or unsafe foods. She ignored him when he cried. She let him fall off the bed and didn't help him get back up. She rarely prepared proper meals. He relied on baby food pouches because she didn't cook for him. She acted careless, distracted, and overwhelmed. Her entourage cared more about the clout than the baby's health. But one of the most heartbreaking claims was that when baby Junior fell off the bed and could not get up because he wasn't walking yet, Chrisean left him crying on the floor instead of picking him up. Houdino made it very clear he didn't leave her because she dumped him, he left because watching her parent the child messed with his head. He couldn't be around it. He said he had an autistic son of his own, and he understood the patience, therapy, attention, and stability required. To him, Chrisean wasn't providing any of those things. He believed Junior needed help, and she wasn't giving it. At one point, he openly said, "I would have taken the baby already." And suddenly, the internet's attention turned back to Blueface, questioning his role in all of this. While the blame is largely placed on Chrisean, many online have begun questioning why Blueface hasn't intervened more aggressively. If he sees the same videos as the public, if he knows CPS has already investigated her, if he knows she struggles with emotional stability, then why hasn't he taken custody? People pointed out that last year, CPS nearly removed the child over her alleged drinking, smoking, and neglect. The charges were eventually dropped, but the investigation was serious, and many assumed it would serve as a wake-up call. Instead of seeing growth or change, viewers have seen an escalation of concerning behaviors. One commenter wrote, "If Blueface knows she's unstable and still hands the baby back to her, he is just as responsible as she is." This sentiment is growing louder. The internet is slowly shifting from blaming one parent to questioning the entire environment around the child. Because at this point, the conversation is no longer about drama. It's about safety.
At the core of this entire story lies a painful truth. Chrisean Rock is clearly struggling. Whether it's mental health, emotional trauma, substance issues, or simply being overwhelmed, she is not coping well. Some viewers feel genuine sympathy for her. They say she never had stability, never had guidance, and never had healthy role models. They argue she is a young mother navigating fame, criticism, heartbreak, and responsibility without the tools she needs. But others believe sympathy cannot excuse neglect. A child cannot wait for a parent to get it together. A baby cannot pause their development until their mother heals. A toddler cannot raise himself while his mother live streams arguments and wipes her nose on him. And this is where the internet stands divided, between compassion and concern, between understanding her pain and fearing for her child's safety. People began tagging CPS, people began tagging journalists, people began tagging legal authorities. None of these agencies said anything. None of them confirmed anything. But a single emotionally charged tweet can feel like an official announcement.
Soon the internet began discussing custody battles, CPS involvement, legal consequences, criminal charges. None of these were real, but the rumor had evolved so much that the truth no longer mattered. The internet cared only about the spectacle. Chrisean's family stepped in and released a statement insisting the accusations were false. They said the baby was safe. They said the internet needed to stop spreading lies. But the internet doesn't believe family. It believes chaos. Even Chrisean's emotional breakdown when she covered her face and whispered that she was tired of being the internet's punching bag was turned against her. People clipped it, edited it, captioned it, twisted it into another piece of evidence that she was unstable. Even her pain became content. After hours of stirring the pot, shouting into his phone, acting like the self-appointed spokesperson for truth, and driving the internet into a frenzy, Charleston White finally went live again. But this time, his tone had shifted ever so slightly. His pacing slowed, his voice dipped, his delivery softened just enough to imply one thing. He might not have known the whole truth after all. He said, "I might not have all the details right, but the message still stands." Translation: I can't prove anything, but I'm not letting go of the spotlight. It was the closest he would ever get to admitting he didn't actually know anything. But it didn't matter, because by the time he walked back his words, even if only by 1 inch, the damage had already become irreversible. The rumor had already become a headline. The headline had already become a narrative. The narrative had already become a cultural debate. Truth never stood a chance. So here we are, standing in the ashes of a digital wildfire that never should have grown this big, this fast, or this loud. One accusation from one man turned into a global spectacle consumed by millions. A rumor became a weapon, a mother became a target, a baby became clickbait, and the truth? The truth suffocated beneath the weight of entertainment. Now the question becomes, what do you think actually happened? Did Charleston White go too far? Did the internet turn a spark into a wildfire? Or has Chrisean's chaotic past made her the easiest target for the harshest accusations? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Not an emoji, not a one-liner. Tell us what you think the truth behind the noise really is.